Hello and welcome to the channel. This video will detail everything from the unboxing to the first use of this Blackstone 28-inch adventure-ready griddle with foldable locking legs. And I'll even go over where the battery goes. Let's get this started with the age-old question.
What's in the box?
Alright, let's get into this box. First thing out is this little box. Inside it is a drip pan or cup with grease cup liner. Next are the knobs and hardware. Here are the instructions. In this box are the wheels, side handle, and propane tank support. This big thing is the body and burners. Here's a side shelf. This is a stabilizing shelf. And in the bottom of the box is a griddle top. To put this together, the first thing I have to do is cut the zip tie that's holding the legs inside of the body. Once that is cut, I must undo this latch on the back of the body so the legs can be extended. As I swivel the legs out from inside the body, notice one side has legs that are shorter than the other side. The wheels will get attached to the shorter legs. I'll get the two small thumb screws out from the hardware package. To get these out, I'll just push them through the back of the package, but you can cut it open too if it makes it easier. Notice this U-shaped piece of steel on the wheel assembly. This flat part in the middle has a hole in it and it goes inside the leg. It slides in against the same side of the leg that has a hole in it. Once the wheel assembly is in the leg, line the holes up. I'll use a small thumb screw to secure the wheels to the leg. Now that both wheels are installed in the leg, I can remove this wire tie, which is holding the propane line to the cross member. It's time to add the support shelf. The support shelf has sides on it. These sides are used to hold things inside the shelf so they don't fall out. Also, there is a sticker on the shelf which is inside the tray. The side with the sticker on it is the top of the shelf. To put the shelf into position, I'll tilt it and slide it past the leg cross members, then level it out and place it on the top of the cross members. If you look, the legs on the right side of the griddle have a cross member which is considerably wider than the cross member on the left. There are two long thumb screws in the hardware package. The longer of the two screws goes in the side with the wider cross member. The shorter thumb screw goes in the other side. Before I could put the thumb screw into the left side, I had to pull the shelf up. You can see the shelf is about a finger width down on the cross member. The legs weren't square, so I had to pull the shelf up so the screw holes would align. Once you get the holes lined up, add the propane tank support. It looks like this and has a lip on it. The lip is the top of the support because it rests on the top of the cross member. This prevents the support from twisting. Once you have everything lined up and in place, secure it with a short thumb screw. Now I can stand up the body. This is when I add the propane tank hook to the left side of the griddle body. This is the same side the propane tank support is on. It's held on with a shear pin and cotter key, which are in the hardware package. Just slide the hook in between these two tabs on the upper cross member. Put the shear pin through the holes. There is a hole drilled in the end of the shear pin. This is where the cotter key slides in and holds everything in place. If you did it right, the propane hook will move up and down like this. Since we're already on this side, I'm going to install the side shelf. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver for this. You can see the shelf has 4 holes on the inside. The upper holes are keyholes, and the lower holes are just circular. The keyholes will let the screws, which are already in the griddle body, slide into the shelf. The shelf then slides down, and you can add the bottom 2 screws. Make sure the screws in the griddle body aren't screwed all the way in. If they are, unscrew them a little bit so the shelf can have room to slide between the screw head and the griddle body. Once the shelf is in place, I use 2 of the 6 little screws left in the hardware package to secure the shelf to the griddle body. The burner knobs will go on next. The knobs are in the hardware package as well. In the middle of the back side of the knobs, there is a D-shaped hole. The flat spot will go on the flat part of the face of the burner controls located on the griddle body. Once the knobs are in, you should be able to turn the knob by pressing it in slightly and turning it counterclockwise. At the first part of the turn, you should hear a click. This is a good time to discuss where the battery goes. This griddle is a Blackstone 28-inch model 2137 and is labeled the Adventure Ready. This model doesn't use a battery because it has these turn knob igniters. When you turn the knob, they create enough electricity inside of them to make this little spark here between the igniter and the burner. If your burner igniters are not sparking, they are probably too far away from the burners. They are supposed to be 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch away from the burner. You can see the right igniter isn't sparking because it's too far away from the burner, so I'm going to bend it a little bit and get it closer to the burner until it works, like that. There are also electric igniters which use batteries to work. Blackstone makes several different 28-inch griddles, and most of them have electric igniters. You can tell it has an electric igniter because it has this button on the face, apart from the burner controls. To add a battery to these, you just unscrew the front button by turning it counterclockwise. Add the battery in the direction indicated and screw the top button back on. Easy peasy. Now back to the assembly. Next is the handle. This goes on the right side of the griddle body. Using the last 4 small screws from the hardware package and a Phillips head screwdriver, I secure the handle to the body. I move the griddle outside and install the drip cup by placing this hook into the slot on the top of the griddle. Now it's time to start preparing the griddle. Before the first use, Blackstone recommends washing the steel griddle, so I use some soap and water with a brush and scrub it down and then wash it clean. To put the griddle on the top of the griddle body, you have to line up these keyhole slots in the front of the body with the tabs on the bottom of the front griddle feet. Once these are in the slots, slide the griddle back and then the tabs on the back griddle feet should sit inside of the holes on the back of the top of the griddle body. Install the propane tank by setting the slot in the top of the handle on the tank on the hook on the griddle. Then let the tank rest against the tank support. Screw on the gas regulator from the griddle to the valve on the propane tank. Once you've checked and made sure there are no gas leaks, it's time to light this thing up. Before lighting, make sure you have the proper clearance around the griddle. Blackstone recommends at least 36 inches in all directions from the griddle. Remember, this is a cooking surface and can get very hot and start something on fire. Turn both burners to the on position for about 5 seconds. This lets the line fill up with propane. Shut them off and then turn them back on. When you hear the click, the flame should light and we're off to the races. The left burner on mine lit right away, but the right burner took a few tries before we had flame on. After I have ignition, it's time to season the griddle. The griddle has to be hot for this. So, I let the griddle sit for about 15 minutes with the burners turned to the highest setting. After the griddle is hot, I use this Blackstone griddle seasoning. I saw this trick on the Your Outdoor Adventure channel. Using a metal spoon, I grab about a tablespoon of seasoning out of the can and set the spoon directly on the griddle to heat it up. I'm not putting my hand or hand of the spoon on the griddle so I'm not getting burned. With this, you don't have to bang the spoon against the top of the griddle to get the seasoning off of it. The spoon gets hot and the seasoning just melts off. Like a drug addict cooking some rocks, you just wait until it melts and it slides off the spoon onto the griddle. Once it's off, I use some paper towels and tongs to spread the seasoning evenly on the griddle. After it's spread around, wait about 15 more minutes until the seasoning is burnt off, and then repeat 3 to 4 more times. Since this is the first time this griddle is used, I did this 5 times. And now it's ready for its first cook. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you can like and subscribe, it'll definitely help out the channel. My name is Matt. I'm just a dude, and if I can't fix it, I'll fix it so no one else can. Thank you for watching.